You are lying in bed. The room is dark. You should be asleep. But instead, your brain is playing back a conversation from 3 years ago. You said something slightly awkward. The other person paused. And now, at 2 in the morning, your brain has decided this is the most important thing to think about. You have probably noticed that it never replays the version where you said exactly the right thing. It always finds the worst take, the fumbled sentence, the joke that landed wrong, the moment you wish you could go back and undo. And it plays it again, and again, and again. This is not a flaw in your brain. It is a feature. And once you understand why it does this, you will never look at it the same way. Your brain is not trying to torture you. It is trying to protect you. Deep inside your brain sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Its entire job is to scan your environment for threats and flag anything that could go wrong. For most of human history, those threats were physical, a predator, a rival, a dangerous stranger. But your brain cannot tell the difference between a lion in the grass and a conversation that went slightly off. To your amygdala, social rejection and physical danger feel almost identical. Because for early humans, they were. Being cast out of the group meant death. No shelter, no food, no protection. Your social standing was your survival. So your brain evolved to treat every awkward interaction as a potential threat worth analyzing. And that is exactly what it does when you lie down at night. Neuroscientists call this process emotional memory consolidation. While you are awake, your brain is busy processing the present moment. But when things quiet down, especially at night, your brain shifts into review mode. It goes back through the day, the week, the year, and flags anything emotionally charged for closer inspection. Negative experiences get priority, not because your brain is cruel, but because negative events carry more survival information than positive ones. A compliment tells your brain everything is fine. An awkward silence tells your brain something might be wrong. And wrong things need to be understood so they do not happen again. Psychologist Roy Baumeister at the University of Queensland studied this phenomenon extensively and found that bad events have roughly 3 to 5 times more psychological impact than good events of the same size. Researchers call this negativity bias. Your brain is literally wired to pay more attention to what went wrong than what went right. It is not pessimism, it is an ancient survival strategy running on modern hardware. But here is where it gets more specific. When your brain replays a conversation, it does not just replay what happened, it edits it. It constructs what psychologists call the worst-case interpretation. The pause after your comment becomes judgment. The short reply becomes annoyance. The slight frown becomes contempt. Your brain fills in every gap with the most threatening possible meaning, because preparing for the worst outcome kept your ancestors alive. This is also why the replay never quite feels finished. Your brain is not replaying the conversation for entertainment. It is running a simulation, trying to figure out what you should have said, what you should do next, whether the relationship is damaged, whether you need to take action. It is solving a problem. And until it feels like the problem is solved, it keeps running the loop. The cruel irony is that this loop is hardest to stop at night. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, found that sleep deprivation amplifies amygdala activity by up to 60%. So the longer you lie awake replaying the conversation, the more emotionally intense the replay becomes, which makes it harder to sleep, which makes the amygdala more reactive, which makes the replay worse. You are not weak for lying awake over something small. You are experiencing a biological feedback loop that has no off switch. There is one thing that does help: naming what you are feeling. Neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman at UCLA found that when you label an emotion out loud or in writing, activity in the amygdala drops measurably. Saying, "I feel embarrassed about what I said," is not wallowing. It is neurologically interrupting the loop. Your brain stops trying to process the feeling and starts categorizing it. And categorized feelings do not need to be replayed. So the next time you find yourself at 2 in the morning, replaying a conversation from years ago, know that your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is watching out for you, in the only way it knows how. It just never learned that some conversations are allowed to end.